Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Papercraft Possibilities. This is Susan. Today I thought we would start out and I'm going to show you some of the products we're going to be using. This is all from close to my heart, but within the video when I start, I'm also going to recommend product within the Stampin' Up! Line so you can use their product if you don't have these, and they do have some that are comparable. So we've got the Honey Butter ink and the Intense Black ink. You've got a Let's Party the Scrapbooking set, and in this we're going to be using the numbers. And here, this is the Let's Party card making, and this is the one that was sold separately, and this is the tassel up here and the cupcake that I'll be using. This one I'm going to be using the die cut for Happy Birthday, and this was the one that was sold within the workshop. And this one here is the outline alphabet, and I'm going to be using the several in the alphabet set, and this is a die that cuts out the exterior, so an outline of it, and the interior, and they're both separate, so you can use either or if you have this set. So here we go. Let's roll that intro and let's get started. So I'm bringing in the journal cardstock, and I've lined the back of it with just the plain journey paper, the lighter side of it. And I've cut out a border off of this striped paper. I'm just trying to save some of that striped paper in the background so I can use it for something else. Here I'm highlighting my grandson. You'll see me bring in some pictures. He just celebrated his 14th birthday. And that kid now towers above me. Good thing he's playing basketball these days, huh? And I'm showing you here that I first matted them with white, and then I came in with the honey butter, and the equivalent to that in Stampin' Up! Is crushed curry. And I used the lighter side of that paper, which I don't do a whole lot, but it just looked better than the real, the more darker tone on the other side. You'll see me fuss around with these pictures quite a bit here, and just trying to figure out what I want, where I want it, how I want to layer it. And so you'll see me fuss around with this quite a bit. And here I've layered up some white cardstock with some more of that striped foiled paper in the background. And I'm going to use this to put the numbers 1, 4, and then TH, so 14th birthday on there. Here I'm showing these stamp sets again, and in a minute I'm going to show you the comparable die sets from Stampin' Up! This is one that it was hard to find one. I did, but it was hard to find one because this stamp, or this die cut, pardon me, stamps out the inside and the outside outline, which you'll see me use later in the video. And you'll see me, I did find the banner here that I use, and I found another stamp that has the cupcake through Stampin' Up! I found another one that said Happy Birthday, so you'll see that coming up. And I'll include my website at the end of this video. Underneath the title, you'll see something that says more ... If you click on this, click on that, all of the information of products I've used on this video will open up, and you'll also see my website in there. Here are those dies. This is the one that says Happy Birthday that you can find on Stampin' Up! And, you know, it says there, wanted to say dies. And look at all the options you have there. I love it. You're Too Kind. I like that one. Here's a good alphabet set, and it also has numbers in this set, which I love. When you can get them both in one and they match, perfect. And that one's called Alphabet a la Mode Dies, and it's still available. So that is one I would add to your collection. I'll be adding that one as soon as I get a chance, and you'll see me using that in the future. Then here's the one that has the banner at the top, and you'll notice on the right or the left-hand side upper is where the banner is, and then below that you also have the flags that you can use. And here is the cupcake die. So this one's called Pocket die. I can't read that on my video. I'm so sorry. But that's the one that I have a comparable cupcake. I think it's slightly bigger than the one I use in my video, but it is a cupcake and you could use that. I'll also be using that one for a video coming up of graduation. Now I'm bringing in my intense black ink and some scrap papers. Hang on to your scraps, and I'm going to be using this to stamp out my cupcake. This is my stamp positioner. This will be listed down below also, something I use constantly, almost every page I make. And I'm using this intense black ink because I'm going to be using some inks and doing some coloring on this, and so the inks won't smear with this particular ink. Happy with the way that's stamped on the second try around. These are the tri-blend markers I'll be using. And just zooming you in there so you can see what I'm doing. Coming in with the lightest tone of, I think it's the coral red blend I'm using. And I'm doing that all over on this die. And then I believe I'm going to come in with the second tone. There's 3 tones on these pens. And I'm going to come in with the second tone, I believe, or it could be the darkest. We'll see here in a minute. I love doing coloring. It's very, just, you know, it takes your mind off of everything. Don't we all need that every once in a while? I did come in with a darker tone. So I'm bringing that in where there might be some shadows on that particular stamp. And then I'll come in on the sides and you'll see me blend that in a minute. And I want it to have a light tone in the center, like the light would be hitting the center of that cupcake tin or cupcake holder, paper, whatever you'd like to call it. And doing the little candle there. And then I'm going to use this blue color, and it's blue, but it sure looks gray to me. So I always use it when I'm highlighting something that is supposed to be white. It just gives it some definition. And you'll see me bring in a blender. It's a clear blender. And I'm using this to just kind of pull out the grays towards the center and not to have such a dark shading, if you will. It just blends it out a little. In fact, it's called a blender brush. What can we say? And after this, you're going to see me bring in my yellow glitter pen. And I'm going to use that on my candle. And then after that, I'm going to bring in some speckles. And that's like your glitter glue. First, I'm going to die cut this, I believe. And I just used what was handy. So I had some washi tapes sitting next to me on my desk. So I'm going to use that to tie down or to stick down my die so it doesn't go anywhere while I'm doing the cutting. And with washi, I've learned you don't want to push it down real heavy because, or you know, smoosh it in my terms again, because it can tend to pull on your paper. So do that lightly. And here's my Stickles. And this is a glittery gel type mixture. And I do this when I'm wanting to use this product. I will try and do it early in the stages of making my page because it needs about a half hour to dry. And then after this, I'm going to be bringing in, you'll be able to see that a little bit better when we do the still shots at the end. I'm bringing in some glossy accents for the candle there. So it has like a glassy, wet look to it. Here I'm coming back and putting down my 4x4 prints. 2 of them I stick down directly to the page. The other one I will be putting up on some 3D foam tape. I just love looking at these pictures of him. Makes me smile. The center one that I'll be using is he and his dog, and that is one special puppy. When we go dog sitting, let me tell you, I love that puppy. We used to have a dog and no longer have one because we just have been doing too much traveling in the past. So every time we can get snuggles from a grandson or a puppy, we're good. So taking off that backing and putting that down. I kind of wanted all of my pictures to kind of be askew, nothing straight. kind of wanted it fun. So about got it there. There we go. And you'll see my little tray there of things I've cut out, and I keep those trays close to me. I always cut out or die cut more than I actually need, just in case. Right here I'm trying to tell you that I didn't like how the 14th just blended into the white. That's glitter paper that I've used. That glitter paper is from Close to My Heart, but they do have some that is over at Stampin' Up, and I actually am enjoying that a little bit better, actually. So I'll link that down below also. Here I'm coming in very soft-handed with my honey butter inks and blending in. You'll see that I'm pouncing off first to get off some ink and then coming back in. But I bring back these numbers and it's still just not strong enough. I think the 14 is just getting lost on the paper. So I bring in even more. So right now I want to explain real quick that I have two Facebook groups. One that's just Paper Craft Possibilities. Another one is called Paper Craft Possibilities Private Group. And that's where I get to know you all a little bit better. The one is more generalized. And I'm posting over in the private group some of my Close to My Heart stamps that I'll be selling at a very discounted rate. So I think there's been confusion on the two groups. I probably should have named them something different. But the one is where we'll be getting to know each other a little bit better, and the other was more general information. So I would encourage you to go up and your search bar of Facebook and look for Paper Craft Possibilities dash private group. So Paper Craft Possibilities dash private group. And it'll ask you a couple questions when you sign in, just the first time, so you'll know you're in the right area. And that's where over there having some fun and where I'm listing the stamps I'll be selling. And I'm just going to keep them in that private group for right now. So if you have any interest, head on over there and look for those. And I'm encouraging you all to post your designs over there so we can learn from one another. And I like to see what you're up to, or if you're having struggles, you can tell me what's going on over there. Obviously, you can also put it down below, but if you want to keep it private, that's to go over to my Facebook group. That's a private group. So there you go. So some more die cuts here that I'm putting down, and I've also blended out the background with the honey butter ink again. And here you're going to see me make a mistake. And let's see if you all can figure it out. And once you figure it out, stop the video and list it below. And I'm usually, if I make a mistake once, I'm not going to make it again. Don't hold me to it. But here you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm making a pocket because I'm going to slide this tag down in it so it has some private information on it. When I have a birthday of one of my kids, my grandkids, my husband, I like to list what they're currently into, so we remember this point in their lives. So this tag will say currently, like the sports that Jack is into, or what his favorite food is at this point in time, if he's any other activities in school. That's what I would list on this tag. But I would want to keep this private from everyone, including here on the internet, so I'm not going to be listing that information. But that's what I'm putting in this pocket. But has anyone figured out yet what I've done wrong? The tag is supposed to be going in on the right-hand side once you flip this over. And guess what? I didn't figure on the flipping over portion, so I have put this pocket on the wrong side. And you'll notice I brought in that little, my embossing powder. I do that before I take off this tape when I'm doing a pocket, because it'll take off the glue on the sides of these sticky things a little, so your tags don't get stuck down in that pocket. So that's a good thing to remember, a little hack. You don't want to do it now because it wouldn't stick. But here we go. And I go, OMG. Yep. Guess what? I'm going to try and dig it off of there because I don't want to waste any of this paper. eventually I am successful. But boy, I was a little worried. That's a reason why you don't want to smush right away, because we all make boo-boos. Yay! For the most part, I did it, and I'm able to correct what I did there. So let me know if you guys have been over to my website at Stampin' Up. It's been fun learning a new program. I think I've pretty much, let's say I've been able to get through most of the process, but there's still some to do. And I did get another huge order this last week, so I have plenty of things to play with. Ah, it worked. So I'm going to put back on there what I had just done with the happy birthday. Now that I know my tag works the right way. And I'm going to be adding some more die cuts below that birthday area there. I have a little corner that was kind of sagging, so I wanted to put some more foam tape underneath that. So I'm going to be bringing in here the die cuts that I mentioned, where when you cut them out you get two different pieces. And if you can see the middle of that A, there's a little tiny piece that goes in there. So when you're doing these types of die cuts, it's helpful to have that little tray that I had shown earlier, and you can put your pieces in there so you don't lose them. Or some people will actually leave them on their Cricut mat, or if you're doing a Cricut cut, leave them on your mat until you need them, because they're so tiny they can really get lost on your desk. I must admit I didn't get my spacing really correct on these letters, but I decided just to let it go and be happy with it. Again, no one is ever perfect. Don't ever pretend to be. So I like that little bit that the yellow, again, that's the honey butter paper. I like how it just accented the page. Here I'm bringing back in my cupcake. And yes, the colors are all different. They stick out from the page, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to be able to turn the page and realize that it's Jack's birthday, and then, you know, proceed to look at everything from there. But I really wanted to catch everyone's attention when looking through my photo album or my scrapbook album. So that's why I had done that. Now we're going to come back in, and I wanted to wait till the last minute so I knew where pieces went. I'm going to lay this down here, and at the end you'll see what I do with the tag. At first I tried to, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Let's talk about this. This is the little banner piece. I'm trying to figure out where I want it. And I decided on this corner here, and I doubled it up to make it a little bit more substantial. And then I went in with the dies and I die cut out some silver, and I die cut out some of the yellow, and I offset them so it looks like they're fuller tassels. Here I have some mini foam dots. I'm still waiting on my dimensional order from Stampin' Up. I've gone through those really fast. And we're going to put this right back where you saw me put it, up in the upper right hand corner there. And I like how it brings the silver back up to the top of the page. And we're almost there. So I did bring in some sparkle gems of the Journey color here. You'll see I put them down on the page, at first up on the banner, and it was just too much for this, you know, teenage boys page. I've already got a lot of glitz. So I do end up removing them. And I brought in some, they're not going to be shown in this video, but in the pictures afterwards you'll see them. They're just some flat enamel dots I brought in. I put them on the tag, and I also put them on the 14th area. So you'll see those in the photos. And then I also put some yellow ribbon on this tag that I had in my my stash, along with the tag was in my stash also. The paper was, I just cut it out. And I came in on a piece of white paper and I did my writing to document things that were happening in Jack's life right now. And you'll see how that looks in the still shots. So I think we're just about at the end here. So I wanted to thank you all for joining me. We'll see you all again real soon. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.